every move changes the board.
I'm allergic to lava, man.
Even you are not safe here.
Jumanji 4 is imagined as the next evolution of the franchise, a story that no longer treats the game as just a place to visit, but as a force that refuses to stay contained. After the events that blurred the boundaries between the real world and the game, the tone of this chapter feels more expansive and unpredictable. The sense of adventure remains playful and energetic, but there is a growing awareness that Jumanji adapts, learns, and changes its rules every time someone thinks they have mastered it. This time, the game does not wait to be played. It calls its players back when they least expect it. The familiar group returns, older and changed by their past experiences. Each of them carries memories of who they were inside the game and who they became outside of it. These experiences have shaped their confidence, their fears, and their relationships with one another. The story leans into this contrast, showing how the skills learned in Jumanji do not always translate easily into real life. What once felt like an escape now feels like unfinished business, as if the game is demanding closure that none of them are prepared to give. The Avatar's audiences recognize also return, but not exactly as before. Their personalities feel more layered, reflecting the growth of the people controlling them. The fearless leader struggles with doubt. The powerhouse questions the value of brute strength. The strategist learns that intelligence alone cannot solve every problem, and the agile fighter faces the fear of losing control. These shifts give the characters emotional depth while keeping the humor that defines the series. The comedy arises not just from mismatched bodies and abilities, but from the tension between who these characters think they are and who they actually need to be. The plot begins with strange disruptions in the real world, subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. Objects behave unpredictably, locations feel wrong, and familiar places carry echoes of the game's logic. It becomes clear that Jumanji is no longer confined to a cartridge or console. The game has evolved, fragmenting itself and allowing its rules to leak into reality. This discovery reframes everything the characters thought they knew, turning the story into a race against time to prevent Jumanji from fully rewriting the world. When the group is pulled back into the game, they realize it has changed dramatically. The environments are more varied, shifting between extreme climates and surreal landscapes that feel designed to confuse and challenge rather than entertain. The game is no longer satisfied with physical danger alone. It now tests emotional weaknesses, unresolved guilt, and broken trust. Lives are still limited, but the cost of losing one feels heavier, tied to consequences that linger even after revival. New characters appear within the game, some allies, some adversaries, all shaped by Jumanji's evolving intelligence. A guide figure offers cryptic warnings instead of clear instructions, suggesting that the game itself is no longer neutral. A charismatic antagonist emerges, not as a traditional villain, but as someone who believes Jumanji represents freedom from the limitations of the real world. This character challenges the group's desire to restore balance, arguing that the chaos of the game allows people to become their truest selves. The emotional core of the film rests on the idea of choice. Each character is confronted with a version of themselves that could exist if they stayed in Jumanji forever. Strength without responsibility, confidence without consequence, intelligence without empathy. These temptations are subtle and personal, making the conflict more internal than ever before. The humor remains present, but it is balanced with moments of genuine reflection, allowing the story to resonate beyond surface-level adventure. Action sequences retain the franchise's signature energy, blending slapstick comedy with high-stakes danger. Chases, puzzles, and battles are designed to showcase teamwork rather than individual heroics. The game punishes selfish decisions and rewards cooperation, reinforcing one of the series' longest-running themes. Visually, these moments are vibrant and imaginative, with shifting rules that keep both the characters and the audience guessing. As the story progresses, the group uncovers the truth about Jumanji's evolution. The game was never meant to be beaten, only experienced. Each generation of players reshapes it, adding new layers and contradictions. Jumanji's goal is not destruction, but continuation. It survives by adapting to human desires, fears, and ambitions. This revelation forces the characters to rethink their mission. Destroying the game may not be possible, but understanding it might be. The imagined trailer moments within the film's structure emphasize spectacle and humor, rapid cuts of impossible environments, characters reacting to unexpected avatar changes, and brief flashes of emotional tension. Dialogue-driven scenes hint at deeper conflicts without revealing outcomes, while visual gags remind viewers that fun remains central to the experience. The balance between comedy and danger feels intentional, signaling a film that respects its roots while aiming for a broader emotional impact. The release positioning of Jumanji 4 feels like an event designed to bring audiences back together. It leans into nostalgia while promising something new, appealing to longtime fans and newer viewers alike. The timing suggests a film meant for shared excitement where laughter and suspense play equally important roles. The story is structured to feel complete while leaving room for interpretation, rather than setting up endless continuation. In the final act, the boundaries between the real world and Jumanji reach their breaking point. The characters must make a defining choice: seal the game away at great personal cost, or accept that Jumanji will always exist and learn how to coexist with it. This decision is not framed as a clear victory or defeat, but as a responsibility passed on through experience. The resolution emphasizes maturity, acceptance, and the understanding that some forces cannot be controlled, only respected. The ending avoids excessive spectacle, choosing instead a moment of quiet realization. The characters return changed, not because they won, but because they learned when to let go. Jumanji remains, but its influence is contained through awareness rather than force. The final images suggest that adventure never truly ends. It simply waits for the next moment when curiosity outweighs caution. Jumanji 4 ultimately presents a story about growth, balance, and the dangers of escapism. It celebrates adventure while questioning the desire to run from reality. Through humor, action, and heartfelt character moments, the film reinforces the idea that the greatest challenges are not found in games, but in the choices people make when given power, freedom, and a second chance. By the time the story concludes, the audience is left with a familiar sense of excitement mixed with reflection. The game has changed, the players have changed, and the world feels just a little more unpredictable. Jumanji 4 does not close the book on the franchise, but it turns the page thoughtfully, reminding viewers why the game remains so compelling. It reflects who we are when the rules disappear and imagination takes control.